Okay, so this is going to be the last video for tonight. I'm going to talk about hybrid humans and mutants and X-Men and things that I did on my TikTok. So I'm not going to follow everything that I did on my TikTok. I'm going to give you guys a summary of it instead of trying to go play all my TikTok videos and get this shit over with because it's after midnight, had my midnight snack, and I want to go to sleep. Okay, so first let's talk about hybrid humans. Hybrid humans is a category that Blade falls into, as well as Atom X, and as well as Vulcan. Alright, let me explain why those four, also Morbius, why those four fall in. There are also anomalies. Alright? Now, like Franklin Richards is the major anomaly. But for the ones I just named, Blade, Morbius, Atom X, Vulcan. Alright? Here's where things get interesting. Alright? We don't know if Atom X was actually going to be a mutant because his mother is Cyclops and Havoc's mother. But his father is an alien, Dekin. So, to make it short and simple, if he has any supernatural abilities, you won't know if it's from his alien side or if he was meant to be a mutant. Now, I think he was a mutant too, but I'm not going to swear about it because his stint in X Factor and X-Men didn't stay very long, and then they, like long shot his ass back off to where he belonged because instead of killing the character or giving him a better story arc, they just shotted him on off. So extremely disappeared. He's one of my favorite X-Men because he was one of the only X-Men next to Proudstar that had the battle axes. Alright, because I like battle axes. Anyway, so moving off of him, we're going to go into his brother, Vulcan. Now, Vulcan is the son of Corsair, but not the mother, or not the child of Cyclops' mother. So both him and Atom X are half-brothers by being related to both Cyclops and Havoc. Because they have the same daddy and a different mother. And Atom X has the same mother and a different daddy. Alright? So there's some family drama for you right there. Alright? So Cyclops and Havoc, who are full brothers and full brothers, are half brothers with both Atom X and Vulcan. Unless all that shit's been retconned. But anyway, moving on. Vulcan, if they say that the mutant gene comes from the male, then he would be a hybrid mutant anomaly because he's also part alien as well as part human. And his human father, Corsair, who is not a mutant but carries the mutant gene. I've never figured out how that works. How the hell is Corsair not a mutant? But both Cyclops and Havoc are mutants. Vulcan is also a mutant. Scott and Havoc's mom was not a mutant, but you have Atom X, who is possibly a mutant and also part alien. Therefore, he's a hybrid human anomaly, just like his brother Vulcan. Now we're going to get off there and jump to Blade real fast. Now, Blade, on the other hand, Blade was born after his mom was savagely or viciously attacked by a vampire. However, Blade is legally an anomaly and a hybrid human. He is not actually a vampire because neither one of his parents were biological vampires, which is what makes him an anomaly and possibly could be considered a mutant by real world standards. Alright, not comic book world, but by real world standards, he would be a hybrid human anomaly because he's part vampire, even though he was never bitten by a vampire and he is not of the loins of a vampire. In other words, his mom and dad were both regular ass humans, and neither one of them got busy with a vampire. So unless his dad was secretly a vampire and just didn't tell anybody, or his mom was secretly a vampire and didn't tell anybody, which that's not how that worked in the comic books, unless that shit's been retconned, Blade is really a human hybrid, but he's an anomaly because he has all of the vampire strength and none of their weaknesses. And he has the one problem that all vampires have, the craving for blood. Now let's bring it on up to Michael Morbius. Michael Morbius was a normal person who got bit by a vampire bat that he had been injecting Peter Parker's blood into, because at this time Parker was trying to find a cure before he became the Man Spider. Unless that's been retconned. You will hear me say that a lot. Anyway, Morbius decides that he's going to take this blood of Spider-Man and lay it out on the counter, and if you go by the cartoon, the bat flew through the laser, and then it bit Morbius, and Morbius became a plasma-sucking, bloodthirsty vampire. Alright? And he didn't become a vampire in the traditional way where if you get bit 3 times or depending on the vampire lore, you get bit 1 time and you become a vampire. Vampire lore changes. So after this, I will do a video about vampire lore and their changes. It'll be a really small video, I promise. Anyway, so Michael Morbius, hybrid human anomaly, not a mutant. Alright? Why is he a human anomaly? Well, he had 2 things going in not so much his favor, but it made him the creature that he is. See, Michael Morbius was a normal person. The vampire bat was a vampire bat. It was a normal vampire bat. It was not a mutant genetic vampire bat, but it got a hold of Spider-Man's blood, which Spider-Man is a walking anomaly because his blood was transformed by the radiation in the bit spider. Again, making him an anomaly. We're going to set Peter off to the side for a second. Morbius getting bit. Now Morbius is a hybrid human anomaly, not a mutant. He can fly like a bat, but he doesn't have the ability to transform into a bat. Unless that's been retconned. Because he did once become the Man-Bat. Not to be confused with DC's Man-Bat. Alright? It's called Morbius Unbound, where he mutated into a giant-sized fucking bat. Unless that's been retconned. Now, let's get on back to Blade real fast. So again, Blade's mom was carrying Blade in her baby bump, and she was attacked by a vampire, which forced her into labor. So somehow or another, the vampire DNA got into her womb and infected Blade, changing him into a human hybrid anomaly. Because again, his mother was not a vampire, his daddy was not a vampire. Blade was a normal person. Now, he may have had a mutant gene from his father or his mother or whatever, and he might have been a mutant, but the vampire DNA fucked all that shit up. Kind of like being zapped by gamma radiation and being sucked in with venom at the same time. That being said, unless it was retcon, you have your hybrid human anomalies. Now, for the last anomaly on this that I set to the side was Peter Parker. Peter Parker was a normal person. He was not a mutant. There was nothing super extraordinary about him other than the fact that he was pretty smart. So, on the way to a science fair or whatever, he got bit by a radioactive spider. His radioactive spider was not genetically altered or any of that shit, unless that shit's been, unless that shit's been retconned. He was just a normal ass black spider that bit him. All of a sudden, Spider-Man has the strength of a spider, which we really can't confirm how strong a spider actually is, versus an ant that can pick up 10 times his body weight. I know it sounds impossible, but there it is. Anyway, unless it's been retconned, Spider-Man had the abilities of a radioactive spider, only human size. And Spider-Man stands about 5'10". He's not really tall, he's not really short. But Teenage Spider-Man was like 5'7". So he could climb and stick to walls like most spiders. And unfortunately, in real life, spider senses do not exist, but Spider-Man has a spider sense, i.e. human anomaly. Hybrid human anomaly. Just not with mutant powers. So what does he have in common with everybody else? With the exception of Vulcan, he's not a mutant. Vulcan is a mutant and a hybrid anomaly because his mutant gene came from Corsair. Adam X is a hybrid mutant, but he's not really a mutant because we don't know if he's actually a mutant or if he's just an alien and it's natural to them. I could say the same thing for Vulcan, except for the fact that he's Corsair's son, and Corsair's sons have mutant DNA. Alright? So, Vulcan would be over here. Spider-Man, Blade, and Morbius would be over here. Because they would technically all be hybrid anomalies of humans, but not mutants, where Vulcan would be a mutant. Finally, we will add 2 more mutants to the list. That would be Nate Gray and Cable, who are initially the same person, along with Strife, who is a clone of Cable. Okay? Now, the reason why I brought that in, because here's where shit gets messed up, again, unless it's been retconned. Nate Gray has always been Nate Gray, in whatever universe and timeline he's come from. He's always been a mutant, and he's always been the son of Jean Grey and Cyclops, from whatever world they are. Or at least Jean Grey. His father has been questionable. Now, however, he is an exact duplicate of a different world where he would be Cable or Strife. Alright? Guys got to go back and hunt for him so you can find him. And again, unless that's been retconned, there you have Nate Gray. But Nate Gray is a mutant of extraordinary abilities, and he also may have a little taste of the Phoenix Force. Strife, on the other hand, is just a clone. He may or may not have a taste of the Phoenix Force, but since he is an exact clone of Cable, he definitely has Cable's telekinetic powers. Which Cable was born of a clone, Madeline Pryor, who was a clone of Jean Grey, who was a telekinetic, but not the Phoenix, because the Phoenix was a totally different entity that impersonated her body. Which, and possibly in one realm or another, Rachel Summers is actually the Phoenix's daughter versus Jean Grey's daughter. Okay? All that shit's definitely probably been retconned. Anyway, because now there's, what the hell was her damn name? I don't know what the hell her name was, but her last name was Grey. Anyway, Cable's younger sister. Not Hope Summers, though. What the hell was her damn name? She's really short red hair. Anyway, retcon what I just said. So, now Cable, on the other hand, Cable was basically genetically created because Mr. Sinister manipulated Cyclops' powers and made a clone of Jean Grey and manipulated Madison Pryor's powers. Now, Madison being a clone of Jean Grey minus the Phoenix Force, or was she part of the Phoenix Force? We don't really know. However, she has all of Jean Grey's memories and etc., etc., and Cyclops abandoned her to go back to Jean Grey, which pissed her off, and she gave the baby to the Marauders. Then they had to save the baby, and next damn thing you know, the baby has the mutant disease by Apocalypse, so they wind up sending him off into the future. However, prior to that, Cyclops and Madeline Pryor were manipulated into having a baby because Mr. Sinister wanted the ultimate weapon. The ultimate weapon being Cable. So again, unless that was retconned and my search for hell from getting the Inferno saga would all be for naught. Now, we're going to close this out with the ultimate super mutant. There are very few people in the Marvel Universe who has the power of a god. Other than the one above all, the only person that is colossally close to being one of the most dangerous human hybrid mutant anomalies on the freaking planet in the 616 would be Franklin Richards. Now, technically, we don't know who's more powerful between Franklin Richards and the one above all. Now, the one above all is supposed to basically be the one above all, which means he is literally the Lord himself, the God, the creator of life. Now, I could be wrong, and that could be retconned, but anyway, the one above all is supposed to be the supreme being in the Marvel Universe. Alright? Marvel, I need a job. Anyway, Franklin Richards was the first mutant born in the Marvel Universe of people who had no mutant genes whatsoever. But because, here's the song, on an outer space adventure, they were struck by cosmic rays, and then the forward changed forever in the most fantastic ways. No need to fear, they're here. Just call the four. Fantastic Four. Reed Richards is elastic. Sue can fade from sight. Johnny is the Human Torch, yeah. And Thing just loves to fight. Call the four. Fantastic Four. Well, Galactus is hungry. You know that Doctor Doom is near. Well, here comes the Skrull invasion. Do you run and hide in fear? No way, no way, no way. No way, no way, no way. Just call the four. Anyway, moving on. I'm sure that song has not been retconned, because that was when Fox had Fantastic Four on there almost every freaking weekend. Anyway, so you have Reed Richards and Sue Richards, who went into outer space and got struck by cosmic rays. They decided to come home, and the Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family, had a baby, and that baby would be Franklin Richards. Franklin Richards would reach his mutant potential by 3.5 to 4 years old. No mutant in Marvel history has ever done that, and I'm going to say it, unless that's just been retconned. But prior to that, and prior to becoming the Herald of Galactus and watching the world come to an end, unless that's just been retconned, Franklin Richards was the most powerful living mutant being. By the time he was 4 years old, he had a sidekick named Slapstick. Again, unless that's been retconned. If you want to know why I keep saying that, because Marvel and DC both did a big retconning. Only DC did it twice with Rebirth and the New 52s, where Marvel did one or two big ones in 2008 and 2010. Ruined my Guardians of the Galaxy. I stopped reading it after they ruined the X-Men and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, alright, I'm done. So, that being said, again, unless shit's been retconned, I should be pretty accurate on my facts. Again, unless this shit's been retconned. But Franklin Richards, he had the power to pop things into reality, like Slapstick. He also had brought his sister back from the dead. His younger sister, who Miss Richards sadly had a miscarriage. Again, unless that's been retconned. Now, in case you are wondering why I'm going to bring in the Power Pack, because the Power Pack would also technically count as human hybrid anomalies, because they weren't mutants. I forgot how they got their powers. I think they got their powers from space too. But the Powers family, the 4 kids, the 2 boys and 2 girls, had superpowers, and they were friends with Franklin Richards. And they were set to be a future Fantastic Five way back in 1980 something, because I was going to buy that comic and I never got it, damn it. But that's okay, because I'm pretty sure that shit was retconned. Because a lot of the people that I have mentioned are barely written about in Marvel now. Don't know what happened to Power Pack. It was a good show. I mean, for a good comic. Same thing like Cloak and Dagger. All kinds of things have been retconned and screwed up. And you know, when something's going very well and you retcon shit and you fuck it up for everybody, you lose a lot of people reading and you lose a little bit of money. Anyway, so I can end this out. Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful living beings, human, mutant, hybrid anomaly that there is. No one else can really touch him. Not really, like on a power level, other than the one above all. So, if you have to team up with anybody in the Marvel Universe, believe you me, I will be teaming up with Franklin Richards. That way, if I die, he can pop me back into existence. But also, you know, he's fucking cool. Nobody gives Franklin Richards a lot of problems, because he can probably pop you out of existence with a mere thought, which gives him godlike powers. He's more stronger than the Norse gods. He's more stronger than the Greek gods. He's almost as strong as the one above all. And a lot of people, including the Eternals and the Tribunals and all of them, don't fuck with Franklin Richards. Thank you for watching. Be seeing you. Echo Fang Grey Wolf. I'm out.